Since I was so rudely interrupted before, welcome back to my stream. Stream attempt number 2 today. Number 4, like, I don't know, maybe ever. I don't know. So what we're going to be doing is, as one does, is we're going to be flying the F-16, and we're going to be doing that around the Nevada Test and Training Range in Red Flag Campaign 1. Because I was thinking, this is what normal people do, I'm told, right? And I'm also told there's a huge market. Like, before I was cut off, I don't know where my stream, I was trying to make this what I think is a relevant point. And that is that, number one, if you're watching this, you're a DCS person. And that means, I assume, at least a basic level of, let's say, sophistication and being not stupid. So, let's say what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you that there is in your folder, if you go to your, if you navigate to your, sorry, I'm just double checking to make sure my stream's actually working here. Yes, we are live. Okay, great, cool. Just double checking to make sure my stream's actually working here. Yeah, there we go. All right. We're going. We're living. We're live. Okay, so your DCS mods campaign folder has the briefing documents you need for this. So if you're going, if you're like, oh, what the hell, this doesn't really tell me anything. Well, you're right, it doesn't. Also, kneeboard FT dubs, like, you need that shit. Yeah. So the plan was, I didn't even really want to play DCS necessarily today. I just happen to know that how I have the stream set up works. So, like, I tried a bunch of other shit, and I just don't have the technical mind at this moment to go and like screw down all my emulator settings, because what I wanted to do was play something simple. I wanted to play like Kicks or friggin' Galaga or Pac-Man or something. I figured I'd hop on Antstream and stream something very simple so I could just talk over it, because I really just wanted to make some points that are just, I don't know. I don't really know what to do with them, so I figured the most natural and sensible thing for a normal human being to do if they have a message and they want to get it out there is to learn to fly a virtual F-16 and fly that in a fairly complicated multi-aircraft simulated mission over the Nevada Testing Training Range, and live stream that so that you reach a really big audience, because the market for this is huge. My channel is going to blow up any second now because of this. Anyway, the mission is opening conflict of Blue Land versus Red Land. We are in our beautiful F-16. Yes, there's not many, I would say, as far as beautiful machines go. There are maybe, compared to the F-16, maybe like, god dang, can something just work today, please? Ugh, this is why we don't have webcams, folks, because if you saw my face right now, well, really, anytime, you'd be like, yeah, I'm out. So, we're going to main power. Starting this up. Look over here, looking for 20% RPisms. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be fantastic. So it occurs to me there's like 10 thoughts I just feel like I need to get out there today, and so hey, thanks for going on this ride with me. All 0 people unlikely to get. Doesn't matter. Doing this shit anyway because I want to. I don't do this for the lulz or for the views, because God knows I ain't. Yeah. So those of you who are around or have tuned in the past, or will tune in the future, thank you. It's really cool of you. I like that. In the background too, why I'm flying the F-16 is I am currently, among 800 other things, as tradition with multi-potentiate. Yeah, I used that word in natural flow, as one does. Folks with ADD or some variation thereof, is we start a lot of things and finish a dismally ratio of those things. But often we get back to those things, and we do finish them now on our own damn schedule. And like, you know, life's it's a brutal time to be
Forward 1, airborne.
a humans. Start heading GPS. It's I managed to save the pod, mostly. We got FPM. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have this. Auto. Yeah, buddy. All right, so now we're gonna watch our All right. We're gonna watch our DED. Oh yeah, what we gotta do is we gotta hit enter here, diver down, enter here, diver down, enter here, lock it in, baby. All right, here we go. And we wait for this to cook. And once this gets down to like 10 or whatever, then it should be ready to go. Meanwhile, we can watch all these our hog bros out here taxi out because they're looking cool. Of course, they should leave first. It's gonna take them a minute to get where they're going. All right, and then RWR, do. Yep. HUD symbology. Turn this thing up. Yep. Right, so I'm working on F-16 tutorial video kind of in my own flavor. I haven't done a tutorial in ages. It has been the case lately where I feel like I have nothing of value to add to that conversation. So like I just don't pipe in with like, hey, here's my tutorial on how to use a whatever. First off, like I'm sorry. That was easier to do like 10 years ago when I did my F-15 videos, which are still watched to this day, which shocks the shit out of me. Like, how are those still relevant? Well, it's because they're Flaming Cliffs level simulation, right? Like, they're not being, there's not a lot of updates to those systems models to where like it's like, oh shit, they added the HMCS, now I gotta redo my tutorial, my startup sequence is all jacked up now because the process changed. With the F-15, it's been the same since basically Lomac, right? So, all right, we're gonna go down tier 2 now. Ah, damn trucker! Oh. Okay, there we go. We should be good to go. Yeah, everything looks dandy here. Okay, good. Yeah, there we go. There's my waypoint out there. We're looking pretty solid. And that's what she said. Just not to me, because whatever. I'm gonna lay off of that. Yeah, so my original plan was, speaking of ADD, my original plan was to play something chill, something I don't have to think about, something I can just play like out of muscle memory, like Centipede or Kicks or Pac-Man or Galga or something like that. But like, I'm like, hang on a minute, I don't have that set up to stream because all my retro hardware that I could stream with and output, yeah, got you, bro, is packed up because I'm moving, so I can't do that. So I'm like, okay, well, my PC's still out. How do I do that? Well, and stream or an emulator. And I'm like, well, I got to set that up to stream and make sure that works. And like, the only thing I know works to stream is DCS. So naturally, if I want to have a low mental workload so that I can talk about things I think might actually be a little important. There's just stuff I've been thinking about. Naturally, it's, well, you need to hop in a really sophisticated high-fidelity flight simulator and fly a major combat engagement. That'll put your mind at ease, bro. That's what we're doing. So our mission is to, this is day 1 of the engagement. The first thing to do is degrade their IADs, which is what this whole strike package is doing. Our job in that package, and yes, I said package, what?
Tusk 1, airborne.
Is to drop LGBs on the, there's a fan song radar for an SA-2 system that we are tasked with destroying. Now, why not use a Harm or a Maverick, something standoff? I don't know. Probably because it's an SA2 site, and those were old a long time ago. And shooting at an F-16 with an SA2 is like, I don't know, what's that equivalent to? Shooting an F-16 with an SA2, it's like, well, this is fine-tuned for suppression of enemy air defenses, and you're using like the first gen missile that is designed to shoot down like B-52s in the 60s to shoot at a 2010 or whatever version of the F-16, which is, this is the block, what is this, the block 50 CJ or CM or whatever we got. Like, yeah, man, we don't need to flex that hard on the SA2 with this guy. We could just, it's like, yeah, I'll just casually waltz in there and point a laser and overfly the target just to kind of like, it's a flex. It's a show of dominance, in my opinion. Just like, yeah, I don't even. You can't beat my old shit. I don't need to bring my new hotness. Well, plus these guys are using the harms, you know, on the actual threats. You know, we got some SA6s or the HQ thing, which the first time I flew this is, yeah, whatever. I restarted the campaign. Deal with it. I'm all over the place this evening. It's been a. I almost said it's been a rough day. It kind of hasn't. It's been a rough week. No, it kind of hasn't. It's been a rough month. No, there's just a lot of shit going on. On the macro and micro scale. All right, Hornet bro. Looking cool out there. Open debate, guys. I'm just going on looks here. Who looks cooler? My Viper bros behind me or the Hornet bros that just took off? I'm not saying I like one plane more than the other, but I think as far as just looking awesome, I will give a slight edge, maybe a marginal edge, a substantial edge to the F-16. I think it just looks... The F-16 to me is one of those machines that is so cool to look at that it looks like, to my eye, this is not a machine that was built by the human hand. This looks like a machine that evolved naturally in an ecosystem and just, you know, is... Not saying its lines are organic or anything like that, but it does look like it grew that way. Like it existed on its own rather than being cobbled together by component parts. It just looks that damn good. Oh, we are heavy. Gear up. Out of the gates. And we're moving. Alright, what's our target time? So, well, I think we took off ahead of time here. Let's see, what are we at? Whoa. Abort. Okay, so we need to go to list. No, we need to go to that and then go to time. What do we got? 2100. I think that's 2110 Zulu, and our marshal time, our takeoff time was, I think we're ahead of time. We're ahead of schedule here. So if we go to our brief, oops, no. Go to our knee bizzle. Our push time from Marshall Point, I think is 2145. So what that means is we may have to orbit a little bit once we get out that way. Colt 1, that's us. 2152 is our end of vol. I think we push at strike push. 2140. Okay, that'll get us where we're going. There we go. I'll be using my autopilot so I don't still select. What else we got cooking here, guys? All right. So that orbit time will give me some time to set up my sensors and make sure I know what I'm doing. Speaking of which, I'll fence in later on. Try to be a little more proper about this. So, kind of a. This is actually what I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to get too much into DCS F-16, but like I said, I'm working on a tutorial. Yeah. So what I want to do is make, I guess you could think of it as like a transition training thing. So a lot of us in DCS, we're not learning unless you're brand new, which let's be honest, most of us aren't. One does not merely walk into DCS being like, hey, okay, I want to do that. You've already tried something else. You've already played Ace Combat or something and being like, okay, that's cool, but like, what else is there? Or you grew up on other sims like me, and as the sims have evolved in sophistication, so have you. Right? Like it's kind of a cool thing. So really this game, this simulation, the fact that we can do what I'm doing right now blows me away every time. Every time. It's like I can't believe I get to do this like in my house. Like how it's like I don't even have a badass system. I don't have VR. I'm pretty basic. You can see from my graphic settings they're pretty low, right? But still, look at this. I mean, come on. What a time to be alive. I'm not even kidding.
Colt 1, Nels departure. Clear
Wags!
control, contact Darkstar, UHF, channel 16.
What's up, dude?
Darkstar Colt 1, as fragged. Request Elcow corridor via the Mormon Peak.
That doesn't sound like me.
Cold 1, Darkstar, radar contact. Cleared Elcow corridor via Mormon Peak. Shell, tanker available, UHF channel 14. Tacan, 83 Yankee. Arco tanker available, UHF channel 15. Tacan, 94 Yankee. Picture available on request. Lowdown, South SA2, active. West, HQ7, active. East, HQ7, active.
So if you look at the threat rings, I think we are not a seed strike, strictly speaking. We are doing destruction of enemy air defenses. We're attacking an SA2 site, but we are not wild weaseling this shit. The Hornets are doing that. I don't know why it's set up that way, but whatever. They will be the ones taking on the serious shit, doing the heavy hitting. Our job will be to come in after they clean that up and hit that SA2. Fan song, which is some of those radar dish names are so funny. What is it like there's like it's like some of the code names are just funny. It's like, oh, it's a fan song. That doesn't sound like a deadly weapon. Or to be like the clap trap. What is it? The clamshell or the flip top, the top lid, or the post hole digger. I don't know. Like they're just kind of funny to me. Right. So personal notes, observations, etc., etc. I'm not drinking today. I should be. I really should. Anyway, as we do on Hangar Zilch79, we are going to be doing one thing and talking about something completely different. Here, let's make sure our pod's warmed up. Let's set up some shit. Targeting pod, are we good? It's not soy. Okay, I get you, but are you on? Should be. Oh, master arm. Maybe that needs to be on. And the laser. Air to ground. Ah, that's the ticket. We got slew. We got cursor 0. That'll point it back at the waypoints. Okay, cool. All right. So the video I'm making now is it's an F-16 tutorial, but it's also it's not going to teach you how to fly airplanes in general. It's not going to teach you what a radar is and how a radar works. I think that's been covered pretty well on my old videos and elsewhere. But better elsewhere for sure. But and it's not going to cover tactics. It's not going to be like, oh, this is how you fly BFM. This is how you fly an approach in the F-16. This is how you BVR in F-16, and here's seed tactics. I'm not doing any of that. What I am doing a tutorial on is how to work all this shit in the jet, like how to work the systems, how they work, procedures and stuff like that. Yeah, procedures. I think that's the thing. How like this guy works and what to do with that. How the MFDs work. Because like if you're transitioning from like the Warthog, even if you look at the HOTASs in those HOTAI in those respective aircraft, they look similar. It's the same stick. The throttles are different, obviously, because the throttle in the Hog is borrowed, I think, from the F-15E, if I remember right, and the throttle in the Hog is stick is borrowed from the 16. So, but you could think, oh, gee, well, they have a lot of the same kinds of weapons and shooting. I know how to shoot Mavericks in the Hog. No. That's not how. No, you do not. You do not know how to Maverick in the Viper by flying the Hog. There are similarities between the two. There's similarity in how the MFDs work and how the HOTAS works, and the targeting pod for sure, and even the Mavericks to some extent. A lot of the weapons work similarly, but you cannot just one does not merely walk into the Viper from the Hog, right? And if you're coming from something like the P-51 or the Spitfire or the Mossy or the I-16 or the JF-17, that's actually pretty similar. But the you know, anything else, or if you're coming from Flaming Crifts, damn dude, what is my problem today? Flaming Cliffs. You know how to fly, you know how missiles work, you know what they do, but you don't know how to work this particular aircraft. So what I'm finding is there's some general principles that are true in the F-16 that you can use to kind of muddle your way through it. So I'm going to start with that and some control bindings, and then kind of drill down into each of the screens here. You know, like what all these do, the different air-to-air modes, and all the different air-to-ground weapons. Each kind of have their own quirks, so we're going to run through that. Seed is its own art form and everything. Like, so I'm going to have air-to-air section, air-to-ground section, and then Seed is its own damn thing. Hey, what's up? A viewer. How's it going? Sorry, I've got like 3 things going at once. Just chilling and about to talk about some nothing horribly insightful or anything. Just I'm going to blow up some radars. Yeah, so that's my plan for the F-16 tutorial. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, if I just run through it real quick and I edit it really well and I'm really concise. I'm like, do this, do this, do this. If you want to do this, and this followed by this. I can get that done in, I don't know, 45 minutes. Like, if you watch anything I've ever done, you know that ain't gonna happen. it's like 45 minutes my ass. It's gonna be more like I gotta do like Scotty and just multiply my estimates by 4, and that's probably gonna be a better, you know. It's gonna be like a 2-hour video, and then when you go to actually do the things, it'll take you like, if you were to actually do them, I don't know, 20 minutes. It's just how it be. I tend to drone. Is that pronounced Mr. Valdicus? Am I saying that right? Thanks for stopping by. Fly-by-wire's a thing, and my wires are flying. Alright, there we go. Waypoint 5. Waypoint 7 is the, yeah, this is the Nevada Test and Training Range. This is, if you just tuning in, this is the Red Flag Campaign Mission 1. And, we're part of a big, here, let's bust this open. We're part of a larger efforts, which this is all in the folder that comes with the mission. It just gives you all the players, and this is us. This is our job. We're, you know, strike. So even though we are attacking a SAM site, it's considered a strike mission. The Hornets are doing the heavy lifting, taking down these HQ-7s. So we get the easy shits, which is good for the first mission because I'm rusty on the And I am rusty on the Viper, even though it does feel cozy. It feels like coming back home, but like the stuff's not where you left it, and like, you know, there's dust on the stuff. Let's see. That is our area, and it's a ZSU. There's going to be ZSUs and possible man pads. Maybe I'm going to keep my altitude above 15,000 feet. So one thing we can do is go to ALOW or ALO or whatever this, however you pronounce that, and I'm going to set my altitude warning to 15,000. Boom. Done. And then yeah, we're gonna orbit. We're gonna go to I think waypoint 7. One problem I've had with this mission is like the waypoints aren't labeled as like marshal points, push points, IP, or any of that stuff. You gotta have to go through the mission planner and figure that out. ZSU, that's gonna be a ZSU-23. Check this out. This is where I'm getting that information. So we're gonna hit this, and that's within the bubble. These are packed really close together. I mean, you could, if you want to be like, you know, you want to cowboy this shit, I guess we could, if we miss with our bombs, go in a quick draw and strafe that shit. But I don't want to, that's risky with the AAA there. What is AAA currently called? Does that count as flak, ACAC, AAA, anti-air? I don't know. I'm not current on friggin' anything. I think waypoint, that's going to be our orbit. Yeah, so I think waypoint 7, 8, 9, 10. I believe waypoint 11 is our, waypoint, or 7. Waypoint 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I believe this is our target. 6, 7, that's going to be our marshal point. 8, 9, 10. That doesn't seem right. I hate to cheese this up, but yeah, these are on the briefing anyway. You can see this in the mission planner. So what I'm looking at is we got a target with an SA2 threat ring. And if I'm looking at my MFD, I think the target, I thought it was at waypoint 11. But if you look at the, sorry guys. Yeah. Okay. So this is the white point here is waypoint 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is going to be, okay, that's, I'm looking at the threat ring. So that's 6. I didn't see that waypoint because it was covered by friendlies. And these are data link friendlies. Everything's set up and running nicely. Yeah, just track IR things, guys. I could complain about it, but my perspective, I'm happy that track IR exists because damn, what a game changer, huh? I'm just trying to be a little more positive in my outlooks. It goes a long way. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about that too. This has nothing to do with DCS. Well, actually it does, and I might get to that if I don't get distracted by something else. This is just personal life shit. Take it or leave it, whatever. The lately I'm not like a stupid dude. I mean, games like DCS don't really tend to attract people who don't want to think about things, right? You may be afflicted with that. And it's fun, but it also kind of sucks sometimes. And it's like, oh damn, I feel like I'm getting dumber by the day. What's going on? Like, feels like rusty brain, and I can't drink enough coffee to fix that. I'm like, what's going on? And just completely, I came across some stuff, and I'm like, man, you know, I kind of miss doing math. I haven't cracked open a math book or done any algebra or anything in embarrassingly long amount of time. So I'm like, well, I don't need to study for a test. There's no stress. If I do that because I want to, instead of because I need to pass the course for whatever, is it going to be fun now? Turns out, hell yeah, it's fun. I'm like, oh man, I miss this. And you know what else I miss? I miss learning science. So like, I'm like, no shit, I bought some damn textbooks. I'm going through them step by step as if it were a course. And I'm like, and then, no kidding, like, the next day I start I can solve problems better. So this is great because like if you're in school, if your kid, you have kids in school and they're like, why do I have to learn math? It's like the math may not be the points, but doing the math makes you better at everything else. It's like practicing scales at music, or if you're a martial art person, you know, like kata or a form or whatever your what do you call it? Whatever your see, I just defeated my point because I can't remember your whatever your tradition or art form is called or whatever. The kata doesn't look like a fight. The reps you do, like repetitions and the exercises and stuff, don't look like a fight. And like if you're training for a fight, you can exercise and man, I don't understand. My friend don't know math, but he cannot start an F-18. they're different skill sets, right? But one can help you like with it. It's just it could be math for you, or it could be something else. Just something to force your brain to think in ways that it doesn't normally. And as a scatterbrain myself, like something that requires that much structure and order and planning for you to succeed, kind of helps a lot. It helps just kind of. It was like switching to healthy food from junk food, I guess. Why is this easier than goddamn algebra? Well, it's because it's designed with a user interface that's supposed to be easy, I think. But then, if you look at mission planning, if you haven't read it yet, if you haven't read Raven 1, it's excellent.
All players,
What's
Dark
up?
Star, pre-push briefing. Full up war, visibility good with scattered clouds. Picture available on request. Lowdown, South SA2 active, West HQ7 active, East HQ7 active.
I think that's Bunyap, right? Yeah, okay. So if you haven't read Raven 1, the part that I'm man, I'm not joking. I'm scared a bit to talk to girls. That is a common. That's yeah. I think, because that has been a problem of mine. It's like, right, but I'm not afraid to fight. Yeah, no kidding. That's because, well, yeah, because if you ever have to fight, like, you just do it, like, you don't think about it, you just, before you know what's going on, you're already doing the thing, you're like, oh, okay, well, I handled that alright, I guess. But, talking to women cold, that's hard. But it's just like anything else, like, if I'm a use case, you just gotta keep doing it, and you're gonna fail a lot and suck, and then it just gets easier, and then you quit caring, and that's when it actually starts to work. I'm not scared to fight in T80. Let's see. Alright, it's not our time to push yet. The problem, I mean, we could fly straight in there and go, and trust that these threat rings are accurate and that there's no other things that could shoot us. But our push time is not for another 10 mins, so I'm going to cycle back to 7, is what we're supposed to do. And just kind of work the clock down a little bit, play for time, and let the Hornets do what the Hornets do. They're the ones that are going to kick the SA... No, did I say SA7? I'm sorry. HQ7. Very different things. These little boys over here, I don't want to get near those. Because if I wander off my flight path, or, you know, these move, or, you know, freaking red side decides they want to be cheeky and put things where we don't expect them to be, as a good opponent would. We'll let the Hornets who are loaded out for that take that hit, and I'll do my job. They will do their job. Meanwhile, let's make sure our pods kick in and work. I think I'm gonna turn on my start jamming. Everything working. Let's pop some countermeasures. Those are working. Fence check. Master laser. Oh yeah, let's do this. Smiz. Profile 2, because that is CCRP. I do not want to be diving in on those bastards. 2 GP, D10, drop single. CCRP. Okay, that'll work. Also, you knew that me where female police officer says I can go 80 miles per hour and you can't. Man, you're talking to an F-18, which goes Mach 1.8. I've had a hard time getting the Hornet up to past the number. I'm probably doing something wrong. That thing has a... I love the Hornet. I just can't really... I haven't been successful making it go fast. This jet, however, I have a hard time making it go slow. This thing just is slick. It just wants to... The thrust to weight ratio is insane. It looks like... Look at the frontal aspect on this. Yeah. Oh, damn, I can't move the camera. But you know what an F-16 looks like from the front. It looks like not much. Like, it's super thin front aspect. And, slick. It's not draggy until you put this crap on it. These big old bags. But still, it's no joke. What am I flying at now? 413, and I'm not even in mil. It's a speed demon, which, not expected, right? And this is why I love DCS. I mean, there's lots of reasons, but because you cannot, because it's closer to real life than you can find elsewhere, right? So it's not the case. And this is my broken record subject, but like you cannot. So look at this Mach number. I'm at like Mach point. Looks like 0.9. It's and I'm not even in burner, and I'm loaded with freaking ordnance. Like, it's freaking insanity. But it's you can't know the outcome of. You can speculate about what the outcome, like who would win in a fight type shit, and you can look at like, you can even go deep dive into the numbers, like the thrust to weight ratio and the wing loading, the climb rate, the turn rate, and the max speed and all that good shit. Right, it builds a pretty good picture of what a plane can do. You can look at what kind of shit it can carry and what kind of sensors it has, and you get a pretty good idea of its capabilities. Yes, absolutely. But what actually works in real life, you can't know until you do the thing. You got to do the science. You got to. I did air quotes. You can't see it, but you got to do the science. You got to do the experiment. You got to actually test it to see if that's true, and if not, why. And there's so many variables in DCS. That hell yeah, buddy, tear him up. 2 down. Yeah. Anyway, my point is, you don't know until you actually do the thing. You can't do a dogfight or have a combat engagement on paper. That's not where things occur. In fact, I mean, you can't really have them in the digital realm. This isn't where things occur either. This is just it's a pretty good representation, I think. Ford is kicking ass. That's great. I'm talking, Ford. I'm talking. Quit being rude and telling me about that you're doing your job killing bad guys. All right, rotate back to. I'm still ahead of time, but like, and see, that's a good thing we didn't push ahead of time because we'd probably gotten chopped up by those MiG-29s. While we've got our bags and our bombs. So let's say we get jumped by MiG-29s because I'm an idiot and I didn't pay attention to the briefing and I flew ahead of my fighter sweep. And they got lock on me and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to die. I punch off my stores. They win. That's a mission kill, right? They made me fail my mission. So I would exact vengeance because... Man. Because once these are gone, I'm gonna flip it. Once these are empty and the bombs are gone, I'm gonna flip it over to Cat 1, and I'm gonna go looking for MiGs to shoot down. J11. On the map there was a J11. Yes, yeah. You know what? I think you're right. It's a 29 spike, same radar set. I just said MiG 29s because I saw the 29 on the. Yeah, good call. Good call. Probably their flanker variants. So it's even better that the fighter sweep shot them down. Like, I'm ready to roll, but not with this shit on. I'm not dressed for that social engagement yet. But I can change. Swing roll. I love it. This jet does everything. Yeah. It's all cool. But yeah. Scientific method FT dubs. It's the only way to know things that I know of. Like, really know it. I was gonna get into that too. That's a kind of a contentious subject. Like, why it's. I may save that discussion for some other time. Let's see. Okay, check that out. So we still have an HQ7. They're still up. Are these the Hornet guys? Where's my Hornet bros? I could cheat and look at the F10 map, but let's do this a little more in-gamey. Do we get any information from the data link? 31, 32. These are net call signs, and I don't know those. I don't know if they're in the briefing labeled as such. I'm going to assume these are the Hornets because it looks like they're turning in on this. And these guys, I want to know who's going to take care of this guy out here because that looks like it's more of a problem for me. I don't know how to explain math problems, but I know how missiles work. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, oh, yeah. I was going to get, Raven, thanks. Appreciate it. The Raven 1 book, we're talking about math problems and stuff like that. There are a ton of them going on. Fortunately for us, this jet is... There we go. That's what we're looking for. This jet is smart, so we don't have to be. But if we switch over to something like the Mosquito, and you're having to manage all the systems in that bastard while flying at like 10 feet HEL, like flying between trees, while navigating with no nav assist, no GPS, no moving map. Get it, buddy. Yeah, see, now they're getting it. Oh, they're attacking our target. No. Look. They're hitting up that SA2. I guess we're just hitting different components of it. That's cool. That's why. Anyway, yeah. So, if you're doing Dead Reckoning, right? Like if you're in a solo Mosquito or a P-51 or something, and you're like, okay, well, take off from I don't know. Excuse me, Ramsgate, and go take a picture. It's very important that you take a picture at this time. Go figure that shit out. So you got to get a chart and your your plotter, and you can cheat and use a calculator, which they didn't have back then, and you got to do some math to figure that shit out. Those guys were fucking awesome. They had to do that shit all by hand, and their lives depended on it. Like that's hardcore. That's I gotta respect that shit. And this stuff doesn't always work. And also, it's good to just kind of do it yourself. It's like the why I like to do the startups by hand instead of just hitting the Windows key, home or whatever, because it does get you train your brain to think about the systems in your jet and what they're doing and how they all work together, so that when things happen, you are kind of feeling the thing. Is that my home in Ukraine? And look right there, it's a MI-28, and I thought, holy shit, really? Oh, that's a nightmare. Damn, yeah. Wow. So you're from Ukraine? Damn, I don't even know where to start with that. That could get serious real quick. As much as I can stand it, I've been watching footage from there, and it's like, I don't even know how to talk about that with you without being insensitive. Like, it's just, that is rough. I can't even begin. I don't have the words or awareness to discuss that. That's a brutal friggin' situation. I do not take that lightly. That is a serious no joke. Damn, that got real. Well, I hope everybody knows okay. And if they're not, I'm sorry. That's hard to address. Alright, we are at push time, so I'm just going to keep going with it. So we've got waypoint 8, steer point 8, 9 will be our initial, our run endpoint, and then 10 is going to be where our actual target is. Now, if I was smart, what I would do is get lined up sort of right, shut off my autopilot, or just put it on altitude hold or whatever. Slew my pod onto waypoint 10 and start doing some recon before we get there. Jesus, are you serious? Oh man. I'm sorry. I've lost people to conflict as well. It's home. There's nothing you can say to make that better. Kind of makes me slew in a targeting pod not seem horribly important just now. Yeah, that's the grieving process. Eventually you kind of end up at that point. But it's really unpredictable if you haven't dealt with it yet. Like, one minute you're fine, the next minute you're not, and it comes out of nowhere. Yeah. But it sounds like you probably already know that.
All players, Dark Star, stand by loadout.
Field 1, kill Sam at balls 2-1-8-430.
That looks like our target area. That looks like our fan song radar. I don't think the laser has the range to be useful right there, but what I'm gonna do. Try and laze that to get a bit of a better mark point. And if I was really fancy, what I would do is I would take these coordinates and create a new waypoint for that. And oh, my HSD over here. What's my autopilot doing? Nothing I wanted to, that's for sure. Alright, just steer point 10, let's back up. We're just gonna have to be flippy with it. I did the wrong thing. I meant to put this on at hold, and then I just turned the AP off and just started rolling off. Yeah, well, I mean, that's that's some serious shit. Can you zoom in that TV so I want to see what vehicles there are? Yeah, that we're so far away, it's not getting a good resolution, but yeah, we'll absolutely do that. Those are let's go. So the way one of the differences between the we're gonna put this in at hold like I should have done before, between like the F-16 and the Hog is that by default the targeting pod and the F-16 will point where your steer point is. Watch this. So I'm going to switch over to steer point 10. Boom. And then you hit CZ, cursor 0, and it'll lock right onto, in this case, steer point 10, right? These are, I'm going to zoom in as far as I can go, and that's max zoom right there. That's as good as we're going to get at this range. But what I can tell, we got some trucks. These are Ural trucks, and I believe that's the one with the fan song radar sticking out of its back. That's going to be our primary. So I'm going to hit that with one LGB, and then you see a Shilka? I do not. Let's see. That guy maybe? This little guy here on the right? I think these look like antennae. This is these have wheels. That one might be one. Then over here we got. Oh wait. What? Who's this little guy? Ah, he's got. That is a tracked vehicle, looking like. Looking like that's our Shilka guy. Also, I want to put that in points. See this up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got a point target on that little guy. We're gonna. Well, we did until I ruined it. Let's see. We're gonna. There we go. Okay, that should do it. Now, where are we? What I want to do is have my. Well, let's go back onto the. There we go. That should do it. So over here on the ground search, I think we should be able to see. Let's make this our soy. Expand. See if we can just get a cool radar picture of our little guys. Yeah, you can kind of make them out here, but if I didn't know they were there already, there's no way I'd find them on the radar first. Shilka, noted. So, let's see. Depending on how our bomb does and the rest of our flight does on that thing, I hate Shilkas because I've been shot down by, an embarrassingly high number of them. So, I would like to use my second LGB on the Shilka if it does make sense to do that. Alright, we're coming into IP, so weapons. Let's do a final check here. I'm going to shut off my AP. Master arm, laser. Oh, AG. Smiz. GB12. Gotcha. Okay, we're good. My pod went out. We are going to cursor 0. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? That looks like that Shilka. Where are we at? Oh, zoom out. Damn it. This is why we can't have nice things. They were over here somewhere. Crap. This is not where I wanted to be. HOTAS fumble. It happens to everyone, I hope. Otherwise, I'm just an idiot. There's our Shilka. There they are. Okay. Gotcha. Zooming in. Laser fire. Point track. Okay. Got it. Rolling in. I'm going to check that threat ring real quick to make sure I'm not flying into... Okay, I need to turn maybe a little left. That's a little too close for my comf. And let's bump up the speed a little bit because... And I'm below 15,000 feet. That little warning thing didn't kick over, or I didn't notice it. Oh, is that the variant that's got the, what you call them, the Strela missiles strapped onto it? It's like you see a Shilka, but you're also getting some SAMs, and it's like, you assholes. And then there's the, what is it, the SA, is it SA-10? This is why I'm not a, this is why, part of the reason I'm not a Wild Weasel guy so much is, yeah, I just have a hard time remembering. Was it SA-10 that's got, like, it's got your standard missiles, but it's also got, like, freaking guns in it, and then those guns are so accurate that they can shoot down bombs falling on it. It's like, man, that's annoying as shit.
Springfield 2, showtime. You're dead.
Springfield 2 got dead. That sucks.
Dodge
Alright.
1, in from the east, engaging bunker at Bulls 210 for 17.
Waiting for that bomb release queue any second now. Tried to make a Gepard with stingers. Interesting. So it kind of reminds me of the, we're gonna drop here in a second. I gotta focus. Ka-thunk. Laser on. Check my Smiz to make sure the bomb dropped. It did not. Why? Oh. I think that, you know what? That was the toss. Okay, so what I'm going to do is egret. My fault, my fault, my fault. Okay, so I'm in the threat ring. I'm going to do sort of like, I guess, sort of like a procedure turn left. So we're going to go kind of 45 degrees off this way. We're going to go out for a couple of seconds, or a few minutes, and do a 180 to the right. And that should keep me out of that threat ring. 180 right, go. Sort of. So that was, you know what I'm saying? Not quite 180. It'll be like, I'm not doing this right at all. I'm not doing what I said I was gonna do. Just, it sounded cool. Yeah, gotcha. All right, so that should be.
Dodge 1, kill bunker at Bull 210 for 17.
There it is, there it is. Okay, good. So we've got our bomb release queue.
Dodge 1, kill bunker at Bullseye 210 for 17.
I didn't
Dodge 1, in from
extend
the south,
enough.
engaging utility at Bullseye
I am jacking this up 8
210
different
for
ways.
17.
You can toss the bomb, and that was that. Okay, so what I forgot, and this is
Dodge 1, kill utility at Bull 210 for 17.
an F-16 thing, is it'll give you a
Utility at Bullseye
shush,
210
shush
for
dodge.
17.
You'll notice when I run in again.
Dodge 1, kill bunker at Bull 210 for 17.
Dodge. Okay, I get it. I'm glad you're doing a thing.
Engaging bandit at Bullseye 214 for 12 at 12,000.
That's not good.
12 at 22,000. Ford 1.
Just doing my part to pull missiles off of my friends, right?
At 23,000.
I don't think I was in a threat ring. I wasn't, but we got locked up by the HQ7.
Dodge 1.
And it shot at us. So,
11 at 64. 15 at 30.
J11, is that what that was?
057 14.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, we got a 15. I thought it was a 7 over here. Yeah, yeah, you got that.
Showtime. You're dead.
415 at
Well, if we're going to turn back into them, at this altitude, at this airspeed, it's not quite so great. But
4 2. Dodge 1 bandit at Bull 210.
there we go. That's what I want to hear.
At 28,000.
Alright. Yeah, you can toss it. I didn't toss it. It's, I got confused by that first bomb release queue, and I thought, oh, hey, there it is. And, like, I fumbled my HOTAS, and it just wasn't pretty.
Bullseye 212
I'm better than this.
at 25,000.
Apparently, I'm not. Yeah, you know what? See that smoking thing? I think you're right. I think that was a damn flanker.
Pontiac, in from the northeast, engaging Sam at Bulls 248 for 27.
Alright, I'm gonna kick it up. I got fuel, I think. Yeah, I mean, I've got some fuel. $3 a.m. Holy crap! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sleep deprivation is a thing. Thanks for stopping by. Good convo. And stay safe out there. There we go. That's a bomb release. Shakaroni. That's the new radio call for when you hit your target. It's been changed to Shakaroni. It's very technical. It's very, very tactical, very elite. How many fuel in these external tanks? That's looking like a Nosif. Alright. Well, we got good hits on the primary, so it's like, okay, what else can we do? See if there's anything left to hit. If not,
Pontiac, kill Sam at Bulls 248 for 27.
All players, Dark Star, West HQ7 destroyed.
where's that Shilka? I don't like his existence. He heaps me. He tasks me. Am I misquoting? There's the Shilka. Okay. Alright, so we got all these little dots, and then down that road, that's going to be that guy. Okay, so I'm going to circle back around, and I think I got some fuel to handle that. Or I could, if I was cool, which I'm not. Might be able to use these marks. Use my pod at this weird-ass angle. Yeah, back down here. I would expect it to be right about here. Nope. Should we even bother with it? How much fuel do I got? Half a tank-ish. Okay, yeah, we just need to fly. Yeah, you know what? We got this. We're doing it. We're doing it live. This is not the wise man's play, but I would never make the claim to be one of those guys. That looks like the Shilka right there. Now, if I knew how to use... Whoa. I'm a professional. That was totally pro. Whatever the pod's doing, it's like, man, I wish I could zoom in more with that, or man, I wish it could zoom out more than. Like, how do you use the HMCS to mark a target on the ground? Can we do that? Let's try it. Does not appear to be that we can do that. If any of you guys know how to do that, maybe letting me know would be cool. Otherwise, I'm going to fumble around here like an idiot. You know... Because... Let's unmark that. Cursor 0.
All players, Dark Star, Springfield 2 alive, East reset.
It's a miracle. Or I could have a wingman attack. Yeah, you know what? We've got 3 more F-16s. Let's have engage air defenses.
Engage air defenses.
Let's see what they can come up with.
Flight. Engage air defenses.
Are they Nordo? That should do it. There we go. Now we're talking. Now face my unbridled wrath. There's the toss marker. I'm not using the toss marker. I am using lame guy, regular, good old CCRP. Go thunk. Let's do that thing. We're gonna punch this off. We're gonna go to cat 1. And I'm gonna start lasing. Anyway, I started lasing. Oh! Ah! Shit! No! God. Wait. Is there hope? Yes, there is. Alright. Even when I suck, I'm good at it. I am like the most capable stupid person you know. All right, well let's fly home, guys. All right, woo, yay. Yeah, that was like the least competence you will see today. And boy, aren't we feeling all nice and trim now that we've got those heavy, draggy, giant fucking beanbags dropped off our wings. Yeah, that feels better. It feels better. But see, now I'm all dressed up. I'm all slick. I'm all sexy. I got no bombs, no drop tanks.
Field 2, in from the east, engaging Sam at bullseye 16548.
And because our fighter sweep mopped up all the red air, there's nobody to dance with.
All players, Dark Star, Springfield 1, Allied, East Reset.
Engaging radar at bulls 047. Dark Star 1-1, Colt 1. Request picture. Colt 1, Dark Star 1-1, clean.
Damn it! It's like, you know, I'm just gonna bitch about my tools because I'm a poor craftsman, right? Be like, man, the targeting pod can't zoom in as much as I want, or zoom out as much as I want. I'm whiny. But it's cool to have a targeting pod at all. It's like, okay, well, now I got the bombs off my jet. I'm all slick. I'm fast, and I have some fuel left, indicating some potential air-to-air engagement. I'm ready to rock. And forward flight already took down all the red air. This egress looks dangerously close to this HQ-7 here. I suspect I might get shot at. It's cool though. It'll give me a chance to practice my evasion. Every enemy has something to teach you. But sometimes I kind of wish they freaking wouldn't. You know? It's like, can't we just not be assholes to each other? Is there, like, if there are any assholes in the room, I don't apologize because you should stop doing that. But, like, I'm not saying it's you. It's not you. No. Like, actual assholes. Like, I'm going to go with the 80-20 ratio. Like, people who are either pretty decent or outright just really good. Like, 80%. The other 20, like, kind of, I'd rather not be around them. But, see, the thing is, so many of them, there are people, there's a whole flavor, there's a whole spectrum of assholitude, right? And with different, I'm gonna get, I almost got graphic with that. Did you know that there are, it's funnier in my head, I'm not gonna say that out loud. No. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. But, there's people who are assholes just because, like, they're honestly, like, they make mistakes, they're struggling, they're just, like, accidental assholes, let's call them. Maybe they're lacking some social skills or some awareness, and they might be accidentally rude, or they're just going about their business, and, you know, they may not necessarily care who they mess up while they go through life. Maybe they're just inconsiderate. You know, that's one flavor of asshole, and I can kind of understand why they end up like that. But then there's the dire asshole. A dire asshole is the guy or gal who does that shit because they like to. Right? It would be literally objectively, let's say, objectively easier for the dire asshole to be neutral, to do nothing, and just do their job or whatever it is, and go home and be cool with that. No, that's not enough for them. They get no satisfaction from just being neutral or doing good things. No. They do bad shit because they enjoy doing bad shit and causing the suffering. You know them. They live among us. You probably work with or go to school with or have them in your family. Dire assholes of some ratio, right? Two's that bingo? Yeah. Okay, so you're going to talk to me on the radio telling me you have bingo fuel, but you're not going to say, I'm going to engage your target? Why don't you... See, maybe 2 is a dire asshole. Right? It's proving my point.
All players, Dark Star. All strikers have egress.
Yeah, dire asshole, like, they can't be content with their own happiness or that of others. They will just stir shit up when things are going well. And, man, I will never understand those people. I try to be empathetic. I try to understand people, how they ended up where they are, and if they're behaving badly, I try to be like, yeah, you know what? It's just a snapshot. It doesn't mean they're horrible. It just means they're being horrible in this instance. Is it a pattern? We need more data. Science. Eat it. You know, like that's how it works. And we all. We all fall short of our ideals, even if we're good people and we really try. We all make mistakes. Good job, Springy.
All players, Dark Star. East, HQ7, destroyed.
What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, we all fall short of our ideals and who we'd prefer to be that day, right? Like, it happens. But most of us are like, oh shit, I made a mistake. I need to fix that, or I don't want to do that again, you know? And some people don't care, and they just go, you know. But like the people that just really thrive on the drama, the strife, you know, whether it's social aggression or physical, mostly it's social. Just like, come on, man, just chill, just think of the other things you could do with that time and energy. Anything else, literally anything, but try to hurt other people, and you're going to be better off, and the world's going to be better off. But no, they're just wired different. They're just always going to be that way. There's no amount of. Those are the people that, like, the only way to stop them is to, even if it's in their self-interest not to be an asshole, they'll still do it. That's a dire asshole. You know what I'm talking about. It's like there's a lot. I'm trying to figure out why people do this, and I think they're just fundamentally wired differently, and there's gonna be no true understanding between us. Right? As hard as the better people try to really get them and meet them, and maybe try to help them and meet them where they are. You don't want to be where they are. They're in a bad. No, you don't want to be anything like them. No, but like at least like walk a mile in their shoes or whatever to try and figure it out, or like there's got to be some context. Why is this person who has a lot to offer the world otherwise? They're a smart, competent human being. Why would they act like an asshole? Well, maybe there's some context. Maybe they are having shit go on at home that they're having a hard time with. This is not an excuse, by the way. But like, you know, you could at least understand them a little more. No, they got everything going well for them, and then they just they just are that way. Fuck those people. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to be said about it. Well, actually, there's a lot, but you get the thing. I guess here's a sample. You can detect a dire asshole through a lot of means. They'll let you know. And it's like, it's the kind of mentality where if you see, you go out of your way to find an offensive bumper sticker to put on your car, like, are you really, as a means of communication, that is way less effective than like rambling on YouTube playing DCS like I am right now.
Star, Colt 1 in-flight report. Target destroyed.
That's right.
Colt 1, Dark Star, copy. You're
like,
cleared RTB.
Anger-inducing bumper stickers or things to trigger other people are not a sincere effort to engage in a conversation or share your views or create a good outcome for yourself or anyone else. That is only really there. Don't lie. Don't delude yourself. Those are just there to piss people off because you want them to be pissed off. Maybe there's something about them you don't like. I don't know. But like, who cares? Just go about your life. Have fun. Enjoy it. Life's too short to spend time, money, and energy like angering other people. And it's not the flex you think it is. Making people pissed off is super easy. It's not like you're proving competence or anything. The only thing you're proving is that you're an asshole who enjoys pissing people off. Why am I going on and on about this for, what's it been? Like 2 waypoints? Well, it might be relevant in my life right now. And it might be yours too. I don't know. But chime in with the comments. If you deal with dire assholes, what's that like for you? And how do you deal with it? Because, like, it's just like he who fights monsters must make sure that he not become a monster himself. Or she. Whatever. I'm quoting, I'm not using, whatever. I don't. You know, they love to drag you down to where they are and turn you into the asshole that you don't like to be. They thrive on that shit too. It's like a territorial pissing. Don't fall for it. Don't let them do that to you. And I think on some level, it's like a crab mentality or crab bucket mentality, if you've heard that analogy. Incidentally, one of my favorite music videos of all time, maybe my favorite, is related to Mass Effect because it's M4 Part 2. You know the song that plays in the closing credits at the end of the first Mass Effect game is M4 Part 2 by an awesome band called Fonts, F-A-U-N-T-S. And I'll try to link them or something. But their video for that song is one of the best things I've ever seen. Just watch it. I can't do it justice. But I want to talk about crab bucket. So, like, crab bucket mentality is like maybe some crabs can escape and they climb down. The other crabs are like, no, screw you. And they grab them and pull them back down. Because, like, they could work together to escape. Maybe not everybody could, but at least some could. But, like, it only takes one asshole crab, one dire asshole crab, to be like, no, screw you guys, and, like, claw them by the flipper or the arm. You know those flipper things that crabs have? That's what I meant. I know they don't have, like, actual flippers, but you know, like, those two little tails? Those, like, articulated tail things? I don't know the word. So right now they're called flippers. Are you fucking serious? What was he doing? Running and burning the whole time? Anyway. Yeah, crab bucket. It's like, well, I can't live, I could not escape, but I'm going to make sure they are not going to escape either. If I'm going to suffer, they should too. It's like they can't be happy with somebody else's happiness or success. They've got to, like, tear them down. A lot of those people too. They can't really succeed on their own. They can't work. They don't want to do the work. And I'm going somewhere with this. They don't want to do the actual work to improve themselves or do better than they were yesterday, because that's hard. So they fall to the dark side and try to take the shortcut. And instead of making themselves look better by being better, they try to make other people worse and look worse by dragging them down. Fuck that shit. I'm so tired of people like that. So tired. It's a weak play. This ties back to Star Wars, as everything does, because, actually, this is kind of maybe a little more relevant. I don't know. This is like the most hanger Zilch79 thing ever to be talking about something completely different than what you're doing. That's how I roll, guys. And we're flying waypoints. Like, what else am I going to talk about? Right, so, the difference between Jedi and Sith, light side and dark, whatever you want to call it. It's actually brushes up against some Machiavellian shit. It's kind of cool to think about anyway until you have to deal with it. So the analogy is if you the people who are okay doing the work or enjoy doing the work, whatever good work there is to do, to become something, to gain something, to achieve a goal. By doing the journey is the goal, actually. By the process of them taking the steps and doing the hard work to get from A to to 26 is that's the point. That's what keeps you from being an asshole, because you are learning how things work as you go, and you have to improve yourself. You can't just have the goal. You have to work for it. And if you want a shortcut and cheat and have the thing, you didn't get the discipline and the skill set and the self-awareness and whatever else it is that you get by earning it yourself. Which is why legacies, like success, usually lasts 3 generations. Whether it is an online community, a society, or a business, or a family, right? Usually there's the person who said, hey, I want to make something great. And they go and make something great. And then the second generation, usually like in Machiavelli, it's like the prince's second generation, like their offspring. They didn't do the work, but they were there when the first generation did, so they understand what it takes to do that thing, right? They were there. They were coming of age as Prince 1 was becoming a prince and learning what he this is going to be a straight-in approach to Nellis. Where are we? Anyway, Machiavelli says it better. Just read him. You get where I'm going with that.
One Dark Star, push Natsif, UHF Channel 4.
There we go. Third generation, usually the grandchildren of the prince. So let's say Prince 3. Didn't see any of that. They were just handed a kingdom, or a city-state, or a fortune, or whatever the hell it happens to be. And it could be a city-state, it could be a fortune, it could be a business. The principles still apply. The third generation to come in usually is the one to fuck everything up. And it's the same reason people who win the lottery tend not to do horribly well financially versus somebody who made their fortune by doing the work and, starting a business or whatever it is. I'm not an economy guy, I'm not a business guy, but like you could see a huge difference between a Nepo baby or somebody who inherited the business or the fortune and the person who actually started it up from nothing or whatever and knows what it takes to run that, because they learned the discipline. They learned are we doing an overhead or a straight in? I don't know what the actual proper procedure is going to be, but I'm going to do a runway right. There's no overheads here. I'm going to do a left-hand overhead because I'm a knuckle dragger. Also, that's out. Wish I should have done a long time, but I got distracted talking about, Machiavelli, because that's what you're here for, right? Right? So that's his point, is like, and what people come at Machiavelli, I think expecting one thing, but when people say somebody's Machiavellian, they mean something pretty specific, like they're conniving and they're going to do whatever it takes to get what they want and all that other stuff. But that's not what Machiavelli never really advocated that, and he said that's one way to get shit done, but it's not the only way, right? So what Machiavelli is explaining is not how things should be. He's explaining how they are, and take from that what you will. Turns out he's right most of the time. From my reading of it, it's like, oh shit, man, as it was then, it is now. That's how people be. It be that way. It do be that way. Like, it's pretty uncanny. So uncanny, wrong word, but it's kind of scary accurate. And it's looks like we're gonna be what's that F-15 bro doing? He's going around. Alright, I'm gonna take runway left and do an overhead on it.
Altitude.
Where's my radar altimeter? I don't know. But it's gonna merge with the ground if I don't get my head up here. Man, about 500 knots. Damn, D. This is a horrible friggin' landing pattern. Also, I'm not very good at landing in the F-16, guys. I will put that out there. I'm used to, lately especially, I've been way into the P-51. That's my jam. Compared to that, or the Spitz, even this thing in the pattern is, I think of it more like an airliner. Just big, lazy. It doesn't like low speed, so you really gotta.
Warning, warning.
You don't. It's a high wing loading jet, so like you can't haul the nose around. You gotta be real big, easy, gentle circles. You're gonna overload the wings and have a problem. And also it helps to fly a good pattern, which I'm definitely not doing. So I'm going to have an F-16 tutorial. Right? You guys are going to love that, right? Because I'm so good at it? No, it's going to be procedures. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's something of value I can add that I can demonstrate by, like, I guess, academic study. Like, you can go in the book, you can go to Chuck's guide and be like, okay, this is how you do that thing. And you can relay that. I think I can relay that to other people in a way that like might make a lot of sense to a lot of people. So that's I'm working on that now. And by working on it, I mean actually working on it. Like I'm editing the video and recording and doing the narration and shit. So it's not like, oh, I'm working on this project, you know, like I usually do, and like nothing ever happens. I'm not saying I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to promise you that because I know how shitty I am at that. But there's a runway incursion. There's somebody. Wrong word, but there's something on the runway. Well, he's not trying to take off because we got a problem if we do. I am not trimmed for on-speed AOA. I'll catch it on the way down. You know, because that's a good thing to do, right? Right? It's totally safe. It's legit. It's going to be fine. It's fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you. How are you? What the hell? Aero brake. Wow, I landed so slow I can't even aero brake this bitch. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, so I'm not the... I need some polish, obviously. Whoa, but I did better than that guy. What the hell was that? What are you doing, dude? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm glad I'm streaming this, because what the fuck? What? Hang on. Somebody make that make sense to me. Hang on, I'm going to stop right here. We're just going to watch this air show, because this is awesome. Hang on. This is the most sophisticated combat simulator in the world today. Commercially available to mere mortals like me and you. Well, I think I want to send that to Eagle Dynamics. I'm glad you guys are watching this, because... Hang on, I think I'm going to F2 this shit. Hang on, we got to see... He's still got his bombs on. Oh, he's not even in the plane! That's 3 he ejected! How long is this going to happen? That's Colt 1-2. Which makes me even more confused, because 2 ejected way back before... Oh, I think I know what's going on. What I think is going on is, this is red flag, right? Now, if I were to... I could test that by crashing into the ground myself. But I don't want to do that. What I think is going on... But are you really? Hang on, let's watch Ford do this shit. What the funk? Are these guys on Immortal? Is that what's going on? Oh! I think I know. Okay. I think... No, I think that... Okay, so that's my fault. I don't know why they're ejecting and doing this bounce thing. But what I think is going on is because I was training some defensive BFM in the Mustang. I didn't want to get killed every time and restart the mission every time I took a hit. I was just dodging and listening to the bullet strikes is like a loss and learning from that. So I think I might have turned everything on Immortal, and that's what's going on. Or they're marked as Immortal in the due to mission design. Because the way this works is it's simulating a simulation, which is super rad. I forgot to talk about that. But it's a training exercise, and if you get dead in the training exercise, it's not like you're wiped off the board. You regenerate, which is why you like Springfield 1, came back. Or in this campaign, if you get hit, it's like, hey, Colt 1, you're dead. Continue to flow. Because the point of this campaign is training and learning, and if everybody got wiped out and you had to fly back to base, you wouldn't learn shit. And you're wasting valuable fuel and resources and range time and all that other stuff to get you where you need to be to learn some shit. And you learn a lot from failure. So it actually is consistent with training, and it's not like, oh, you're dead, go back home. It's like, okay, you're dead, keep going. Because there's still more things you haven't done that you need to learn from too as you go. Yeah, you got to put the work in. And that's part of why I'm doing math again. It's great. You know what's really fun? You know what's really fun? Math is fun now because I don't have to do it. And I'm better at it now than I was in school, which is really strange. But you know what's really awesome? And I will talk about this some other time, because I'm not quite to where I can flow in a competent way with it yet. But I am nerding the hell out on physics lately. Just anything I can get. And you can learn, this is so cool, guys. You can learn so much for so little. If you don't need the credentials to prove that you can do it, if you're honest with yourself on like, am I getting it right? Am I accurate? Am I being academically honest? Am I checking my work and making sure I'm using the proper principles and all that stuff? If you can do that, you can learn like freaking anything you want. Like, it kind of go as far as you want with learning whatever science, because like the shit's out there. The whole point of science is to publish and make things as accessible as possible, which sucks because we have, no, that doesn't suck, but what sucks in response is there's billion-dollar machines that are feeding us slop and advertisements and bum dope and all that other stuff that covers up the actual good academic work people are doing and pulls you off of the trail of like good science, and that I'm pissed about, and I will talk about that some other time. But the shit's out there. It's there. You just gotta like get to it. So once you do, like, there's college level textbooks on this stuff for free, PDF. You can just download them now, legally. What a freaking world! You can print them out, or you can buy them used for like. It's awesome, like, or if you went to college earlier and the shit like me is still on the shelf, you can just bust that shit out again and pick up where you left off and learn super cool, fun, advanced things like for free. It's just right there. You just got to do it. So I'm doing that, and it's awesome. I highly recommend it, and it's made me like suck at everything else less. It's one of those things. It's like the process is one of those ones that will kind of create some generalizable things and processes in your head that you can use kind of like apply anywhere. So yeah, I'll talk about that some other time. Once I can be a little more eloquent about that. But yeah, highly recommended. If you're in school, keep appreciate what you have, because it's awesome. And if you're not in school, like, you don't need to be to just keep your brain kicking. I'm not making a good case for it being as scattered as I am right now, but you don't have to take my word for it. Da-da-da. I parked horribly. Okay, who cares? Anyway, that's probably it. That's it for the mission. I almost signed off. It's getting to be that time. What are we at? It's 9:43 where I am, Eastern Standard. Florida time. If you're tuning in, thanks. Like, that really means a ton. I've got 4 people. Thanks to all 4 of you. I think one of them might be me. So thanks to the 3 of you who are here, and thanks to Mr. Valdicus, because, man, dude's from Ukraine and he's lost people. That's some serious shit. Like, this takes some. That takes some berries to share that kind of stuff on a public channel like this. So thank you. Stay safe, guys. Anyway, so what do we do? Yeah, I'm being very sincere about that. Like, no joke. That was a big deal. Thanks. But also we're doing this, and I blowed up 6 things with 2 bombs. That's pretty good. The blast radius on 500 pounders in DCS. My Mustang guys know you can't drop the bombs from as low altitude as you could a couple months ago. Just throwing that out there. Ask me how I know. Boom, you're eating that stuff, and you can blow yourself up pretty handily. So stay above, I think I would say 1200 AGL, 1500. Definitely above 1000 AGL. Or you're gonna be eating your own frags. Frag pattern. Wrong word. Oh yeah, let's check that immortality. Oh wait, no, I don't want to quit. I want to end mission. Cool, mission success, 100%. Now let's check that mortality thing, because if I turned on immortality, that's probably why my wingmen were bouncing. That was some funny shit. Where's immortality? I mean, who uses that shit, really? No, it's not me. Okay, so it's not my fault. I think it's probably just how the mission is built. So your flight is probably immortal to protect you from getting. So if you do get hit by a missile, Dark Star will be like, Colt 1-1, you are dead. Continue to flow. So you don't actually die. You just keep doing the mission. That's probably just how it is. That's probably how Bunyap built it. Good shit, right? Like, good. I love this stuff. So well researched. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Should I do something else? Are we doing that? People are actually watching, so. I could just fly landing pattern. That's not horribly interesting. Let's see what we got. Of the planes I'm sort of current on, we got the Mustang, of course, the Hog, the Spit, the Viper. I'm out of practice on the Hornets. I'm learning the Corsair. That's a handful, man. I love that plane. The module is cool as shit. There's some discussion about whether it's accurate or not in certain ways as far as engine management. I don't know. It does feel slow to me. But Spud, if you watch the Spud video on that, like, he kind of uses science, hell yeah, and actually looks at it and converts it, because like, your indicated airspeed in the Corsair isn't exactly like the true airspeed. Yeah, whatever. Just watch it. He explains it better. So you're actually going faster than you think you are. But still, to me, I've never flown a Corsair in real life, so I don't know. And I also know that published speed. Oh, here's what we're gonna do. Speaking of learning new shit, this beast right here, the Apache. What a cool. If you aren't doing that, you should. It's awesome. Especially, like, I'm a fixed wing person. Learning rotary has been like the cool. It's what a cool thing to do. Like, it's so much fun. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, let's mess around. Where's the? You know what else I love? Where you at? Where you at? This guy. I love the Kiowa Warrior. What a cool module. What a fun thing to fly. So let's do that. Syria. Just do some. I haven't flown over Sinai more than a few minutes. Where are we flying, guys? What do you think? I'm thinking. Journeys. Yeah, free flight Syria. Screw it. Yeah, what a cool thing to learn how to do. And if you think you're a good stick and rudder, and you're flying the Hornet or the F-16, I challenge ye. Thy challenge is learn to fly a helicopter and get back to me. if you feel cocky, this shit'll fix you right up. You'll be like, oh, I thought I was good at this. I mean, how different can it be? I mean, it's a stick and a throttle-like thing, right? And a rudder. So you can just do it, right? No. I mean, if you can, cool. But I'm not one of those people. It's like learning a new dialect of a language you thought you knew pretty well. Yep, yepper. Oh, excuse me. Probably bedtime for me here in a minute. But yeah, science has been really exciting. And it's frustratingly difficult to find good science content by doing traditional searches. So I'm going through this once. If anybody's interested in this, also, I will post my findings if I find promising accessible materials. I'll pass that along on a case-by-case basis. What is going on here? Trying to remember my bindings. There was a time, only a couple weeks ago, where I could start this thing up pretty quickly and handily. This thing is not hard to fly. It's hard to it's what is challenging is not necessarily the flying part of it. It's he says as he flies horribly. Getting your head around the principles of rotary flight. Whatever you're doing, fixed wing may not. Maybe kind of negative training depending on how you approach it. But maybe you'll do better than I did. It's not hard. I'm not doing so well, as you can tell. This is not a scenic area. Alright, let's get our bearings here. Where are we on the map? Oh, right there on the brown spot. Okay. Oh, so if we go to the west, we're going to see some greenery. It's a long way out, though. Are we heading north? Let's go west. Young man, go west. And what's fun about doing this in a rotary is doing things as low to the ground as possible. It's a blast, guys. Try it. It's kind of thrilling in a cool, like, chill way. I'm not really conveying that. This map, this scenario isn't really the best way to sell that. You know what? Let's call that then. Marianas. A little more interesting to look at. Down low. I was, I think the first time I really got the Kiowa when I was like, okay, I know how to fly it. I flew around Berlin, and what a cool experience that was. I'm like, well, how cool. I'm just like flying around the tower and looking at that map. I should be doing that right now and just show you instead of tell you about it. But like, there's art I think unique distinctive art is probably either was or still is there. I don't know. Like on the walls, like murals on the walls of the buildings, which you will never see unless you're on the ground or in a helo or something. Like it, man, what a good damn map. It is so impressive. Traffic jizzle. All right. Is that an S3? And an F-117. What year is it? It's an S3, an F-117, and some kind of UAV. I think it was Predator, but I'm not too up on those, to be honest. Antenna out of nowhere. I need to adjust my draw distance settings, apparently. Anyway, so with okay stick and rudder skills, you can do some cool shit in these. I'm sorry, I'm still pretty new to helos, guys. Like, if this is not new to you, you're gonna be like, yeah, I know, guy, I know. We already know. We're already on it. We've already played all the campaigns. We've already flown all the things. Oh, speaking of campaigns and things we're doing. Spoiler, something I'm really happy about and like really excited. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let Baltic announce that. Yeah, I'm gonna let Baltic have that. No, let him. Come on, yeah. Obviously, he's the mastermind. I just happened to be invited to the party on some small level, so you'll be hearing from me about that in the future. You'll be hearing me in the future. Yeah, I'm doing, as I've been doing for a while, doing voices for Baltic Dragon stuff, and you've heard me in DCS. I think the most. Unfortunately, I can't get into this now because I don't have the information. But like, if you've played the training missions and do this while you still can, I don't even know where to start. So, the Harrier. If you've played the Harrier and you've played the training missions, that's me. I'm the IP. I'm the instructor voice. Yeah, I'm happy to have been allowed to do that. And you hear me in some other shit, like campaigns. I'm in the Raven 1 campaigns, I'm Dutch. I have no qualifications, and I have no business in the room. When you look at the resumes, qualifications, and work done by everybody else who's taking part in these things, I have no fucking business even being looked at as an option for any of that, but I am. For some reason, I don't know, Baltic's like the coolest dude in the world. And he's like, hey, can you do this? Thank you. And I'm like, no, thank you. I've got nothing. I mean, I guess it's passable work I'm doing, but like compared to the SMEs and people are actually building missions and people actually do this kind of thing in real life. I'm like, how the hell am I even in the conversation on this? It's like imposter syndrome. It's like sooner or later they're gonna catch on that I have no idea what I'm doing and I don't deserve this. It's cool. I'm just really happy about it. Anyway, you'll hear me on some upcoming projects more prominently than I've been before. So that's cool. If you don't like listening to my voice, well, that's kind of tough shit. Because I'm going to keep doing that. As long as I keep getting asked, I'm going to keep doing it. It's fun. It's just cool to take part. It's cool to like contribute something. Yeah. Another thing I was trying to do, cause I'm a see this, and this goes into the started projects you didn't finish category. I'm a musician of some flavor. I don't know what I'd call it. Mostly guitar, but I do synths and drum machines and some compositions, and it's not horrible. It's not the best in the world, but I'm like some of these modules, they don't have songs. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna write them, and some of them come out okay. In fact, one of them I wrote specifically for the Harrier, and it's that's the only one I actually no shit finished. And I was like, I sent it to Razbam. I'm like, hey, you guys, I don't even want money. I just think this module deserves a good song, and here's what I wrote for it. You can just use it if you want. And I never heard back from them. So I don't know if I was sending it to the wrong person at Razbam. I don't know anything about Razbam. I don't know anything about Razbam, guys. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's going on between them or ED. I don't know anything about it aside from it just makes me sad. Okay, so I'll talk about that a little bit. Here we go. Are you guys ready? I've been playing DCS almost since it was a thing. I think 2014 is about when I started, thereabouts. So I should be a lot better at it than I am, is what your takeaway should be. But what the reason I bring that up is because I was there for the VEAO debacle, and my take on it isn't what you might expect. It's like, oh, whose side did you pick? Well, everybody's. And because back then, so the Hawk was out, and I was having a lot of fun with it, and I actually found a lot of value in that module. I could see where they were going with it. Like, it needed work, as everybody knew back then. And they were working on a bunch of other projects, and people complained about them staking claim to a bunch of airplanes, and they were almost done with their P-40, which is what I was really, really excited to see what they were going to do with that P-40, because I think had they completed it and sold it, I'm thinking maybe that would have been the success story. They could have recouped their expenses and maybe learned as they went, because, I think third-party devs in DCS, they are developers primarily, and business people. It appears to be in most cases the business and marketing aspect is a whole other profession on its own, obviously, and that might be their secondary priority, which is the right way to do it, because otherwise you're not going to produce the module. You have to have the skills, otherwise there's nothing to market. Because if you market something that never materializes, it's a scam. And that's what people thought was going on. I think they were just having trouble. So what was going on, this is way back, I was starting to stream, and my streaming was just starting to get some traction. I was pushing videos out, and then life got busy, so I had to stop. But back then, it was on the upswing. And I could have been a superstar. No, I don't really care about that part. But P-Man, if you remember, was it P-Man? No, the guy from VEO. He came to me and was like, "Hey, I saw your video on the Hawk, which I think is still up." And he's like, "Yo, would you like to record a video with me, in the back of the jet, and we can walk through it, and I'll tell you how it works, and we can do a training session and put it live. It'll help your channel, and I'll get some exposure." And I was like, hell yeah. Absolutely. But then, I don't know what I'm doing now. There is a problem with my bird, and I don't know. I think I just broke it. I broke it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start that because I don't want to... yeah, so what I gathered from that brief conversation that we had was he appeared to be a pretty cool dude, all right? And when I've had the occasion to talk to people who, when the folks who have actually conversed with me online, which I know is not reality or whatever, but It is the first thing you notice. The first thing that you notice about these people, whether it's RASBAM or VEAO, is that I'm not talking about how they make decisions or whatever's going on, but they are at their core just like you and me. If you're watching this, I assume you're like an aviation fanatic and a really big nerd about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. That's what they are first. So you can talk about. They just love talking about airplanes, and it's like, oh, yeah, you too, great, let's go. And like that's what they're like. So like, it's important when you're armchair quarterbacking the ED RASBAM thing that's going on right now, is just to remember whatever's going on at the end of the day, everybody loses because it's just sad. I don't know what the cause is, but like, when VEAO punched out, however they were handling things, obviously it didn't work, or they'd still be here. Germany, Kiowa, that's the one I want to use. So I want to show you that artwork that was on the side of the building, because that was super cool. Let's see if I can find it again. And I can try not to break the helo this time. But yeah, so like, they're just airplane nerds and people who just love this shit. That's why they end up developing. And so like, when people are talking shit and like, oh, I can't believe they did that, and oh, you know, they're evil, oh, it's corruption, or it's a scam, or whatever. It's like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like, first, none of us really know what's going on because we aren't in those rooms. And there's that leaked video a while ago, and like, okay, but like, I kind of don't give a shit. And because that was one meeting. You know how meetings go. That's why we have a lot of them. Things take place over time. You don't know the context. You don't. It's. And we just need to not be dicks to people. Right? Because at the end of the day, if RASBAM doesn't reconcile with ED or vice versa, whatever the hell is going on, we're all losing some awesome shit. Right? We're going to lose that potentially at some point. They're all going to break. The Harrier, the MiG-19, the Mirage 2000, which, if you remember correctly, remember this, that was the first air-to-air jet fighter full fidelity module that DCS had, was the Mirage 2000, right? It was out before the Hornet was. And before that, the only like air-to-air, you know, modern era jet fighter we had was Flaming Cliffs. The Mirage 2000 was the first one. And I think it was the first one with a fly-by-wire model system. And then, you know, so we're gonna lose all that shit, and I don't care whose fault it is. That's just fucking horrible, man. Like, and my ego, my poor little ego. I'm the voice in the Mirage. I'm in the Mirage 2000 campaign for like 10 lines or whatever. You can barely hear me. I don't know, but I'm in there, I guess. And it's been a minute. But it's like, oh man, that's gonna get lost. My voice is. Wait a minute. A lot of people put a lot of work in that. A lot of people, and we love those modules. And not far from home, like Baltic did a shitload of work for the Harrier, for the Mirage. So like, and we all love that stuff. And if they can't fix their problems, we all just lose it, and it's just freaking sad, the whole thing. So I kind of don't care about laying blame. I'm not a blame guy. It's good to know where problems are coming from and what caused them so you can fix them, but beyond that, like, drilling down into people and making them feel worse doesn't really help them. It doesn't incentivize good outcomes. It's just making a bad thing stop is not nearly as effective as positive reinforcement, right? Like, hey, good job. Thanks for fixing that problem. We can all get together now. Like, reconciliation and all that stuff. It sounds touchy-feely, hippie shit, but like, it's also more effective. So it's like a win-win if you just kind of, you know, that truth and reconciliation process, there's a lot to it. And not just on macro scales, not talking about just like big governments and how it was used, you know, to reconcile populations who were like brutally oppressing each other or whatever. It works on a personal scale too. Just tell the truth and own it and say, okay, well, I'd like to fix this, and everybody works together and it's all awesome. Then maybe that's happening right now as we speak. Maybe as we're talking, the folks from ED and the folks from Razbam are like, hey, yeah, man, can we just find a way to get this, to unfuck this? Because I'd love to imagine that. And they're just all sitting around drinking a beer, sipping a whiskey, smoking cigars, being like, yeah, you know what? We need to put that shit behind us. We got a good thing going. Let's keep it going. Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's come together. That's my reality fan fiction for the evening. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Oh, I think I was heating up something. I think I have one of my HOTAS levers, or one of my throttle quadrant levers bound to something that was maxed out. There it is, right there. That's what... Yes. Okay. I think I bumped a lever and that's why I broke my engine. Yeah, anyway, I'm not holding my breath for it. I would love to keep flying. Oh, and the freaking Strike Eagle! Good lord! What a cool thing! And see, the thing is, that jet is so complicated. They put so much work into that. And like for us as users, we also have to put a lot of work into that jet. You can't just like hop into it. It's not intuitive. You know, the other modules don't really give you a whole lot of positive training for the mud hen. Something else I wrote a song for, by the way. In fact, that's a banger. You know what? The song I wrote for the F-15E. Of all the ones I've actually written, it's not quite done, and I need some layer some more guitars into it and shit. But like, it's kind of not blowing my own horn, but it's kind of a banger. Maybe the best one I've written since I was, at least on my own. I was in a couple of bands. That was a lot of fun. You guys don't give a shit, but yeah, just whatever. So yeah, I'd say as a musician generally I'm pretty mediocre, but even a wrong clock is right sometimes. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. No, yeah, so I wrote a song for the Harrier and for the Harrier one is called V-Stall. It's actually out online somewhere. You can listen to it if you want. Maybe I'll throw the link up. I don't know. But the Mudhead one was way better. Use a drum machine called a Korg Volca drum, which is like a drum synthesizer. And that thing is cheap. It's like, what was it, like $100? Something like that. Like for the money, okay, so synthesizer rant. If you're into music, you're making music electronically, you could use a DAW, yes. Reaper is like $60 for the license. And that thing is, what a time to be alive as a musician if you're going to record it. You can do that for like little money if you have a PC. You can get a cheap keyboard. You can enter stuff with a mouse, and you can be a composer. You can no shit compose stuff, and you can get as complicated as you care to have them. Reaper is free. You can use it for free for the education. If you want to publish, technically you should buy the license for like $60. And you can get soft synths, VSTs, for like nothing or very little too, and stack that. And you're gonna have, if you do that and you set it up and you get comfortable with it, you will have a recording studio at your house for like that will blow away anything they had in like even like the 90s or early 2000s. Like it's insane what you can do at home for nothing, which is amazing if you have good ideas. The bad part about that is that it's really easy to make music with something like Reaper at home, and it's really cheap, so anybody can do it. You see where I'm going with that? The barrier of entry to making music, even now, oh man, don't even get me started on AI, guys. Fuck that shit. Art is art. AI is not. Okay, that's a whole other thing. But the problem is, that ship's, propeller is spinning. How cool is that? I mean, it's not moving, but what a cool feature. What was I saying? Oh yeah, making music is so easy, recording it is so easy, and releasing it and publishing it is so easy that the market is flooded with shit. There's a ton of, oh, actually I could do it better. How many guitarists does it take to screw in a light bulb? It takes 3. One to actually do it, and the other 2 talk about how much better they could have done it. So that's what I'm doing. Fuck you. And yeah, the music kind of sucks. Like, the hit to miss ratio is extremely low. It's so easy to just put crap out there that the market's saturated with thrown together product, and it sounds very samey, and there's good music out there, but it's kind of like the science thing I was talking about earlier. Like, yeah, it's out there. People are doing awesome work. It's fantastic. But if you try to find it, even in it's inexcusable with search engines as they are now. If you had done a good search for this kind of music or that kind of science 5 years ago, you would have gotten much better results than you would now. Search engines are betraying us, and it sucks. So if you want the good music, well, the internet's kind of turning dead, and you need to like, it's kind of like we used to do, and do like we did in the 80s, and fucking deal with it. You gotta have a friend who knows kind of what kind of music you might like and might be able to make a recommendation, and you can search for that artist's name, and that's cool. And then once you find it, it's easy to access, but trying to filter through the chaff is extremely difficult to find good music. It's out there though, whatever you listen to. It's pretty great, but harder to come across on just doing your personal search than I think it should be. And that's true also with the cool science news too. Like, science wants to publish. They want to get this shit out there. That's the whole point. It's like, hell yeah, it's about adding to a body of knowledge and making the world better and smarter, and you can't do that if you hide it all. So scientists want to get that shit out there. But search engines and mass media and social media are more inclined to feed you some rage bait that might mention science than the actual science itself. So they have done the science of hacking our biology and turning it against us by figuring out what makes us scroll and click. And it's not cool findings and well-reasoned arguments and common sense and the kind of stuff that, you know, societies thrive on. It's anger and rage and fear, and that, because AI, you can use ChatGPT or something to content mill rage bait at a rate faster than anybody can counter. The internet is really sucking lately. And as a culture, I don't know what we're going to do about that one. That's a big problem. Big one. Bigger than it sounds. It's annoying. It's like, I want to find a good band and I can't. It's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. But like, if you're trying to find good information, or you're trying to educate yourself on something and so you can make a good decision, like, you know, let's say voting, for example, just throwing that out there for no particular reason. Trying to find good objective information is deceptively difficult. And that is actually what I wanted to talk about this whole time. How much time you got, guys? It's getting late. But I really want to talk about that because it's actually really important. Why I think it's hard to find good science, and why I think science is being slandered and hidden and buried, because science is about objective truth, and if you cannot produce objective truth, you have no science. It's like, hey, I think this. Okay, cool. What you got? What were your methods? Where's your data, and how did you get it? And does it hold up? Does it check out? Does everybody else who knows how this stuff is done agree that your results are reproducible? That if we all did the same things, we'd get similar results? Does your theory make predictions? Is it generalizable? Is it like, okay, does it, within the model, within the scope of what you're talking about, if it's true, then we could use it to make predictions about something and under similar conditions should get similar results, right? And if you can't do that, you're not doing science. You're just making shit up. And that's fine too. But we call that fiction. Or an opinion. But opinions aren't facts. Feelings aren't facts. Facts are facts. And if you don't have facts, you don't have science either. So, oh, that's just like your opinion, man. It's like, no, that's how science works. The problem is objectivity in science and the value that real data, real information that is objectively, empirically demonstrated to be true. Once you do that, there's not really a whole lot of argument about whether it's true or not. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess the experiment checks out. Good data, good job. Your paper's published. Congrats. And now where are you going from there? What else we got? So, who, in the realm of clickbait, the political discussion, and it's no, I take that back. There's no political discussion. Little or no political discussion going on right now. What's going on is political yelling. People are shouting at each other and just trying to be loud about it, and those louder people are getting more extreme, and the extremer people are getting loudester than the other. They're the louderest, and it's getting worse and worse from my perspective. I think most people would agree with that. I don't care about what politics you have. I'm talking about the general situation. The thing is, politicians and people who would seek power aren't really interested in objective truth. In fact, the more objective truth there is, the less capable they become about deceiving, lying, and manipulating others. So the people who seek power have a vested interest in suppressing truth and facts, and education, and research, and objectivity, because they can no longer then, the smarter you are, the more objective you are, the better your information and knowledge, and not only that, more importantly than your knowledge, is your ability to know what good knowledge looks like and where it comes from. The kinds of places and the kinds of things you should look for, the kinds of questions you should ask to be smart and be like, is this guy bullshitting me? Yeah, okay, because he hasn't made any points. He has nothing to back up his claims. Well, that's a lie, right? Or it's bullshit. Or at least, maybe it's not a lie. Maybe he actually believes it, but it's nothing you need to integrate into your decision-making matrix. So leave that shit out. It's garbage. It's trash. It's just conjecture or postulates or not even postulates. It's like just made-up bullshit. Or a lie. Either way, it's manipulative, and you're smarter than that. You should be. That's what science gives you. It's not just the data about the focus of whatever field. It's like your ability to recognize bullshit and truth from to distinguish them from each other. People who seek power don't tend to do it because they're telling you the truth. And if they tell you the truth, it's only the smidgen of it that's convenient for them to reach their goals. You're being manipulated. So there is little to no objective truth in politics. You could have it. We could. It's called social science. If you want to know what the best outcomes are and what the best, like if you're looking at any particular focus in social policy, whether it's defense or war, I guess if we're renaming that from a guy who was pissed that he didn't get a peace prize and he renamed something from defense to war, that doesn't pass my bullshit test, I'll tell you that. But I'm not going to digress into that. But what I will go into is I want to address this more thoroughly and completely, but like if you're looking at social policies, taxes, or what taxes spent where have the best outcomes for the most people, or specific outcomes in what programs are most effective, we have social science for that. You can collect that data and you can run stats and you can look at the charts and be like, right here, that's the sweet spot for cost benefit. Like here's how much money we could spend here for the best outcomes. Excuse me, guys. And over time, every dollar here we spend will yield us $3 in savings to the taxpayer in 5 years. I mean, that shit exists. It does happen. But like politicians hate it because they can't lie about it so easily. And a lot of what they're doing is, oh, the other side wants you to believe blah, 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 blah. And then the other side's not saying that. They're just saying the other side's saying that. Because when you look at the other side's media, you're not hearing those kinds of things. You're hearing something like, the other side wants to do this to you. It's like, well, when you talk to the other side, are they actually saying that? Or you're just taking the word for it of the media outlet that the other side is that much of a threat, or they're just that evil. Well, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but you need to find out for yourself. We can't trust people who have a vested interest in deception or obfuscation. That is, in that way, politics is the opposite of science. It's the art of looking like you are trying to tell the truth or trying to operating with somebody's best interest in mind while seeking power and control over them. It should be public service, but let's be honest, it don't look like that from my perspective anymore. There may be people who believe it is or should be and might be working in the system to do that, but they are not currently effective. And a lot of that is because you can't have an objective argument with calm heads about something, about what the best outcome might be, with good information behind you. If it's not being actively suppressed, it's at least being ignored and shoved aside. What do you know? I don't trust the experts. Then who the fuck would you trust? Somebody who just makes up bullshit? Somebody who just tells you what you want to hear to motivate you so they can get money and votes from you? What's the quote? Who said this? Somebody correct me. Be wary of the one who seeks to control your information because he considers himself your master. That's where science just wants to inform people. Here's the information. I want everybody to know this. It's so cool. Politics is like, what do they know? All they do is, there's no objective truth in politics. Those arguments aren't real arguments. An argument, you're trying to make a point. You're exchanging ideas and you're using commonly agreed upon rules of exchange, and like you all agree, whether it's a philosophical debate or a scientific one or whatever, you've kind of agreed to what the rules of that are going to be, and you're trying to reach some more perfect objective truth and reality that you can agree upon. Your goal is not to shout down the other side or make them feel bad about themselves. It's like you're trying to work together, really. It should be a collegial thing, but that's not what we have in the public discourse, and it's not often what we have in private discourse either. But that's the best place to start. So when you're talking with your friends and family on the other side, the best thing you can do, because we all deal with this, the best thing I have found, and you can try this, do your experiment. You don't have to take my word for it. Please don't. Just try it. Or listen to somebody else who maybe have a better idea than I have, maybe better qualified. But what I have found to be the best thing to do, and I'm not the best at this all the time. In fact, yesterday I failed at doing this pretty badly, is not to talk so much, unless you're asking an honest question. That does a lot of things. If you're having a discussion with somebody you disagree with or who disagrees with you, to figure out why they're doing that, you have to know how they got there. And ask honest questions like, oh, why do you think that? Oh, how'd you get to that conclusion? I'm not challenging you. I believe you. I'm taking your word for it, but like, how did you arrive at that conclusion? What's your background? Like, do you have knowledge in this area? Or what's your experience been that led you to this? And they like to talk about it. And you're going to build a rapport. You're going to build a relationship that way by honestly listening to what they have to say. And you may find out maybe you were wrong. Or maybe your opinion may be still more correct than the other one. But maybe you're more informed about where they're coming from, and maybe you can patch your theory up a little better too, and you can have a more accurate opinion on what the world is like or should be like. This is just basic shit. But it bears repeating and reiteration because nobody is... I don't hear a lot of people advocating for this kind of thing or practicing it. There's a lot of hate and a lot of fear and a lot of like just assuming because somebody else has a sticker or has a different color voter registration that they are all the worst things about what the other side represents. And sometimes that is true. But usually it's not. Usually they're just... It's complicated. And that's the thing. Reality cannot be boiled down to... There's a few things people tend to boil reality down to, and these are horrible, dangerous fallacies. Number one, You cannot boil reality or anything other than an economic situation down to mere dollars or whatever currency you happen to use. It's not, you cannot, there is no reality to money conversion that is 100% accurate. That's not, everything isn't all about money. Not everything has financial value, and it's not like, if people say the economy makes the world go around, that's bullshit. The world's been going around long before economy was even a thing. The economy makes the economy go around. It's a artificial system. And there's laws and rules within economy, yes, but like those are not laws of reality. Those are laws we use to exchange goods and services, etc. They're not like absolute truths about reality. Those are just really artificial shit, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Flying artificial helicopter. It's not really a helicopter, but it feels like it is for a while. It's deceptive. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, asking questions. Yeah, so if you have a debate opponent, the best thing to do isn't really to convince them that you're right, is to listen to them. Once you build some trust and some understanding, then maybe it might be a better time to express your opinion, and you keep it focused, keep it polite, and then be here's where scientists kick everybody's ass across the board. If you hear them talk about something and they're arguing and they get heated, absolutely, but they're not attacking each other. They're not trying to tear down each other or make each other feel worse or any of that shit. They are rigorously trying to make sure that whatever ideas get adopted are strong enough to hold up. So they're attacking. If they're attacking anything, it's an idea itself. They may consider be like, okay, that's kind of bullshit. Well, here's why I think that. Like, if you make an assertion, you better be prepared to like, okay, here's why. And if you don't have here's why, then you have no assertion. You just toss it. So, but like to have a heated argument, blah blah blah, that's it, and then okay, we're done, and move on. It's like you put the model of the thing on the table, and we're discussing what that model represents and what it's like, but not like, are you a cool person or are you evil, or I can't believe you, you have no empathy, or how could anybody believe that about economics, or you've been lied to. None of that shit. That's not how it goes. So if we're gonna have arguments, it seems to go better if you put the idea hypothetically on the table in between you, and like try to describe that idea and understand that idea as well as possible without trying to attack the other person's identity, which is very difficult to do because billions of dollars have been spent lying to us and tying our own personal identities to some political bullshit. That's not how it be. We're a lot more complicated than that. It's not just a red or blue choice. The other side isn't, necessarily, there may be people on the other side out to get you, sure. But there's people on your side trying to get you too. Yeah, you see. So whatever argument I hear in politics, if they're attacking the other side, oh, well, your side, your guy did blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, you're scrutinizing that, but that's fair. But also you need to address take that same scalpel to your own side as well and see how well we both fare. Yeah, if you're gonna, it's unacceptable for a politician or public policy to look like this. It's like, okay, they can't do that. They can't do that. Like, well, what is? Maybe I agree with you. Maybe I don't. But is your side also doing that thing that you're saying is unacceptable? In a lot of cases, yeah. We have blind spots for our own side. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'm Zilch. I am nothing. Anyway. If you're listening to me, why? Cool, thank you. Like, don't you have better things to do? I don't. That's why I'm doing this. Actually, I got a ton of shit I need to do. So I'm going to be doing that in a minute after I botch my next landing. No, I couldn't find the cool piece of wall art, that mural I was telling you about, because I can't find Berlin. You know what? How much fuel do I have? Let's risky F10 click for the day. No, I'm not. That's because I'm not in Berlin. I'm in Hamburg. That would probably explain why I can't find downtown Berlin. So you know what? Let's change that. We can do that. Do the magic of. We're gonna change reality to the magic of the mission editor. And you're gonna see Berlin, and you're also gonna see my frame rates go to absolute garbage. I think we're gonna do this. Do I have my geography correct? Am I going the right direction? Is that the right city? That's my question. Strasbourg, Potsdam. Sorry if there's any of my German friends watching. I apologize. Yeah, I think we got it. Okay. Yeah, but there's this like really cool, I was like, oh, let's go check out the Berlin Wall as it was, sort of, and you know, flying over that, I'm like, well, there's quite a big difference in how the East and West Berlin looks, and then you fly over East Berlin, and there's that kind of cool like commie style murals, you know, where it's got like the guy with the hammer and he's doing work, and like next to him is like the scientist with the test tube, and next to him is like a farmer, and they're all doing the, you know, the communist thing, and everybody's all smiling, of course, because everybody's happy in communism, right? Oh man. But actually, it wasn't really communist. Yeah, you know, I know. I'm not getting into that right now. Some other time, yeah. I'll hit that with my stupid brain hammer. All right. Is that Pan Am? Yeah, it looks like it's Pan Am-ish. Pan An. So this effect, because they, you know, it's there's trademark issues and stuff. In a lot of video games and simulators, you see like the logos are all just a bit different, and like it's obviously the real world and everything is familiar, but like they have to change things because they have to change things for whatever money reason, licensing, or I don't know. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a lot of things, but one of those things I'm not is a lawyer. In fact, there's more things that I'm not than things that I am. I think that's how it tends to go for most of us. But I lived in Canada for a couple of years, and my wife at the time, she was like, you know, this is like watching you play a video game, and I'm like, what you talking about? And she's like, well, it's like they couldn't get the licensing fees for everything. Like, it's the same, but all the signs are just a little different, a little off, and it feels like home, but it's not. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. What's this kilometer shit? Well, smart people would use the metric system because it is easier. I don't know why the hell. Yeah, okay, so the metric system makes sense to me in every way except for temperature, because it has a different 0 points. Like, I can't convert that shit as well, like, in my head as I can with like speed and all the other shit. It's just like, oh god, no, don't make me use Celsius, no. But whatever, it's better. I get it. It's just harder to convert that one. Anyway, yeah, that was like living in Canada. I was like, oh, it does feel like playing like Watch Dogs or something like that. And, like, it's a real place, but like also it's just a little different and it's off. And I don't know why, but yeah, that was my wife back then. She was. We have since split, but we're still besties. It happens. No harm, no foul. Now you know too much personal information, and whatever. Just goes to show you can get a divorce, you can get a split. It doesn't need to be a bloodbath. You can be like, yeah, you know what? We tried. It's not working. Sucks, but here's that mural. It does happen. It doesn't need to go to shit. You can keep the friendship even. It's amazing. I guess I'm pretty lucky. Neither of us want to like mess each other up. It happens. Wow, my frame rate's. This is accurately representing. Accurately representing the slideshows that we used to watch in the 80s. I'm having problems. My frame rate's going to shit, and I think the stream may be reflecting that. So I'm gonna land this bish. It's gonna hit the ground. I don't know if it's gonna remain in one piece while that happens, but nah, I'm just gonna quit. All right. Thanks for watching the stream, guys. I know I'm all over the place, but that's just kind of how I be. And next time we'll try to be a little more focused. Thanks for watching. We've done a lot of stuff. We've flown the F-16 and Red Flag mission, and we've flown over Germany and Syria within the span of a few hours, which is pretty amazing. What a time to be alive. Love it. I'll catch you guys later, and thanks for tuning in. You're awesome. At least I presume you are. I'm grateful either way. Bye!